Hey friends, good morning. It's a wonderful day today. And friends, we are happy to be connected with you on again a beautiful session with one of the best guests we could ever have. And she is actually it's not Miss, it's Dr. Jyothi Gaur from Rajasthan, Jaipur. I'd like to introduce our celebrity, our special guest today, who has a lot to share with us, who's here to empower each woman, in fact, each individual on this earth, about how we should be sharing equal space with each other, having no discrimination, no gender bias. We should spread love and humanity across the world. So we have Dr. Jyothi Gaur to share her views, her thoughts, and enlighten each one of us. I'd like to welcome our special guest on this platform, the International Fabtalks show. Ma'am, welcome, ma'am, to the session, and thanks for accepting our invite.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks for calling me. And I'm so happy to be here and hope we'll have the future collaboration.
Definitely, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. The day you accepted our invite, we were very happy. We were pleased because you have a lot of knowledge to share with the world. And we think you are one of the best individuals who we could connect with to the world, connect with ourselves on this platform, and as well as with everyone out there who really want to focus on, creating equality in this universe. So yes, dear friends, let's come in and, in a very formal way, introduce our guest. I'd like to take the pleasure and privilege to introduce our guest today in a very formal way. She is Dr. Jyothi Gaur from Jaipur, Rajasthan. And my dear friends, she has 20 plus years experience in the teaching field. She teaches at the university and college level, and she's very passionate about teaching. At any given time, you ask her what's her passion. She loves to teach, inspire, and of course, empower people who she comes across and who comes across her path. And she loves to spend time with students. In fact, now she has rejoined again the academic sector, and she is now at present a professor and dean. And she specializes in human development and psychology. Her expertise lies over there. Dear friends, she's also into publication. She's published several research papers at the national and international level, in the national and international journals. And dear friends, apart from that, she's been awarded. She's been recognized for her hard work, smart work, and diligence by national and international platforms. And of course, she has a beautiful foundation called as the Swapnal Foundation, where they focus on gender sensitization. I love this. I love this topic. And I would like each one of you to learn something today from this particular topic called as gender sensitization, of course, and women empowerment. That's the need of the hour, across the whole world. So here is a very inspiring and, a very pleasant person who is going to put out all her beautiful thoughts, her experience, and share with us her wisdom on how to empower each other and, of course, how to, maintain balance in the universe. Dear ma'am, thank you so much and welcome to the session, ma'am. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Yes, dear. Dear friends, we'll ask our guest the first question. We'll begin the main round of the interview now. And let's go ahead and see what has ma'am to share with us. Dr. Jyothi Gaur from Jaipur, Rajasthan. Dear ma'am, how would you define yourself? Who is the real Dr. Jyothi Gaur?
Oh, everyone is a simple human being, nothing else. Only thing is that within our life, we develop the capabilities. And because we strive for becoming something, we have that aim right from the beginning. We become that person. Until and unless you are so lost that you don't have aim, you will not become anything. But everyone is one thing or the other. So what I am is that I have worked a lot on myself academically and you say socially because we all have one or the other problems within our personalities, isn't it? You also must be having it. So to make ourselves, we need to work hard. So I know my flaws, I know my incapabilities. The thing is that I've worked a lot on these and I have become academically sound because of hard work and of course by God's blessings. Only thing is that we need to work very efficiently, very focused on our work so that we achieve what we want to be. Other than this, if you ask me about what I like and what I don't like is that I like to be myself, that is working on what I like, that is I like cycling, walking, caring a lot for animals and you say flora and fauna. I read a lot and I nowadays I have got interested in Dhamma also. You know Dhamma, it is meditation and yoga. What I have done to myself is that when I was very young, because I'm interested in reading today, right from the beginning, when I was a very young child, I started reading. I used to read a lot. That is, we at that time we had very long and big books, the books that were bigger than me. So I used to lie on those books and start reading those and made it a point that I need to complete and read each and every word out of it. Reading the billboards, reading the, you say anything that was available surrounding me. So this reading passion developed right from the beginning. And so I understood that I need to be into academics. And I'm an academician because I have worked on it. Nothing else. Nothing else.
Wonderful, wonderful, ma'am. I like the way right from childhood you were interested in books. You used to sleep over the books and read them and keep them, collect all the information and keep it with you, such that today you are here with us to share all that information. And that's what inspired your journey towards academics. And today you're a great academician. Wonderful, ma'am. Very nice. And you're interested in cycling, in meditation, and walking, and all of these things. So sweetly you have put in that. You've explained it so well. Dear ma'am, the next question coming up, you have 20 plus years experience in teaching and connecting with people. So a lot of experiential learning also, side by side. Dear, apart from the theory that you've been reading from books, when you say 20 years plus experience. So dear ma'am, during this journey, you might have been through ups and downs. I might have been through ups and downs, but most of us, we do not know how to manage stress. From your perspective and experience, what is the best way to manage our stress?
No, it happens with everyone. Some times are good while other times are bad. Maybe you're not having job sometime. Maybe you're not earning well for a few years. But you do not need to be very sad about it and not desperate about it. Only thing what I have decided is whatever has been planned for me by the universe, I need to take the good things out of it, isn't it? So whenever the times are not good for me, I develop some capability. Like I'll talk you about, say, around 20 years ago, I lost my job. I lost my job because of my children. I was my baby was very young, and I had to sit at home. So that was a time when computers had just entered in India, and the people would not let you touch your computer. And in the institutions, they had one or two computers. So what I did was, whenever I had free time, I went to the computer shop asking the person to take few bucks and let me allow to touch the computer and open it. And he would ask me, you know how to use a computer? I said, oh, yes, I know already. I know how to use it. And that way I learned how to use a computer. Similarly, whenever I changed my positions, whenever I changed my jobs, there was a little bit of gap. And that gap is actually really bad for your psyche. You sit at home, you do other things that are non-paying because you have been working for the things that have been paying. So when you're sitting at home doing the things, these are non-paying, you need to learn the capabilities. You need to develop your capabilities, learn new things that are actually difficult. So when you learn those things, you will come to know that universe automatically plans the future for you, in which these learned behaviors are going to be your asset for future. So this is what I did every time, whenever my times were not good. I made it very clear that I need to be more sound, I need to be more perfect, I need to use all my resources, whether less or more. I need to use them very appropriately and judiciously. And that way, whatever was available, I was thankful to the universe. I used those resources and made myself capable.
Beautiful, ma'am. Beautiful, very well, answered, and lots of information from there for us, lots of takeaways. That's very nice, dear. Dear ma'am, we'd like to know how you were as a little kid. How was that little Jyothi Gaur? How was she? Mischievous, naughty, silent, shy?
Oh, look at my face. Do I look mischievous? No, I
No.
was not. Actually, I was a very shy child and very creative, very constructive, and I had very few resources because those were the times when parents did not had much to give to their children. They needed to work hard. They needed to work really appropriately and search for their assets in their children. So what happened is that I became a very shy child, but because I was very constructive, so whatever resources were available, I used to use them. I'll give you an example. There was a sewing machine in our house, and my mother was a teacher who was teaching stitching and embroidery to the young women because this was a project sanctioned by the government. So I used to look at these machines, and somehow I broke the inner part of that machine. And I was so scared. I was so scared that my mother would actually kill me. So what I did is that I changed the part of that machine without the tool because I didn't even know that there are tools for changing the parts. I took the part from another machine and put it in that. And when this machine started making noises, my mother called the mechanic, and he was so surprised that how did this part get changed and without the tool. And so there I was called in queue and everybody was shocked. Similarly, actually, I'm talking this because you need to give chances to your children because if they want to do something, let them do. What will happen? They will break it, they will spoil it. But my parents, they always allowed me to do anything I wanted. My brother was, you say, very important member of the family, and we two girls were not that important. So he had a bicycle. I did not have a bicycle, but I wanted a bicycle. I never thought that I was less capable than him, but I did not have that source which my brother had. So I brought a frame from the kabadi wala, kabadi wala who sells all useless things,
Yes.
brought
Yes.
frame from that, borrowed it from him, and I changed everything. You see, replaced everything in that bicycle, and my lady's bicycle was ready. And in the evening, ma'am, when my brother returned from school, his bicycle was to be sent to Kabadiwala, and my bicycle was ready. So that way we worked those times. Nowadays, what I see is that children are busy with their mobiles and television sets. So that is the quite a difference that we have in that time and today's times. So my parents, they allowed everything when I was shy. They allowed me to take my own time talking to people and never forced me to talk to people. So that is how I learned what incapabilities I had. And I started developing those characteristics which were required to impress the society. So that is how I develop. And otherwise, if you don't give the chance to your children, maybe they will not achieve what they can.
Wonderful, ma'am. So many adventurous experiences you've shared. And I'm just trying to form a mental picture and just imagine how you were able to fix all those parts and change the machine and everything. I'm just trying to get to understand how did you do it, in what way you might have sat down, with what mindset you would have, very consciously and very with full of attention you might have done all of that, right? That's really great. And then I expect that from a boy, but then you being, a little girl, and you put all your energy into doing that, not once but twice, even with a bicycle, right? That's wonderful. Wonderful. Beautiful memories. Very nice, dear. Yes, dear. Dear ma'am, who is your inspiration? Or you could also answer it like this way: who is your role model?
Actually, my mother is my role model. I never thought that she would be my role model because I was a very retaliating child. So, till college, I never thought that she would be my role model. But after my marriage, what I observed is that I was taking many things from my mother. That is, my mother was from rural area. She was not educated, but still she was so proud of herself, proud of her, what she was doing and the way she was earning. She was taking care of her children and she guided us. And we being the privileged people in the family, as compared to my mother, we started taking notion of her. We started taking guidance from her. So this is how she became a role model. And today also, she's more fearful. She's very brave. At the age of 80, she manages everything by herself. So now I think that we need to be like her. I should be like her because she does yoga and she does, you say, she is into politics. She loves politics. So how did she develop all those things, being from the rural area and not knowing anything, not being educated? Today she knows about nutrition, she knows about pharmacy, she knows about medicines, she knows about mechanics, what not. So she has that power to achieve everything academically and you say cognitively. So I would like to become more like her within few years.
Beautiful, ma'am. Very nice. It's no, it's a joy to know that at the age of 80, ma'am, your mom is like into so many things, and she says love politics. She loves medicine. She loves this, and she's so active, meditation, and all of these things. That's really nice. And my mom is my inspiration. That's really nice to know.
Right.
Beautiful. Very nice. Dear ma'am, you said you read a lot of books. You've been reading a lot of books from childhood. Any special book to mention over here that we could also lay our hands and read a few books which you mentioned today and share?
Yeah, if you want to compare the old books with today's books, actually, when I was very young, I used to read Dharmyo. Dharmyo was a very big book, big in size, just equivalent to newspaper. So it used to come, say, twice monthly. Reading that book within 15 days was really difficult because the prints were very small and the quality of the content was marvelous. And if you compare today's books with those books, you cannot compare. So if you get a copy of Dharmyo, I think you should read it. Then you will come to know what we are writing today. So my books are still with me. Few of the books are with me. So I still like Dharmyo. And when we were young, we used to read Champak and Nandan, and they had a very good quality. But today's books are not of um, that quality because the language has somehow deteriorated. If you talk about the visual literature, say cartoons, children watch lots of cartoons today, and the language they use in these cartoons actually sometimes it becomes very absurd to listen to them. So I think we should have a control on it. And if we can improve the quality of literature today, whether it's visual or written, would be great for children.
Wonderful, wonderful, ma'am. I remember the book Champak and the other book which you have mentioned. Could you just repeat the name for me? The book.
Nandan. It was Nandan, Champak, and
Yeah.
few cartoon series were there like Mandrake and you say Chotu Lal or something. Very, very qualitative things.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I would like to get the name there of that big book which you said, the first one,
Dharmyo. It was Dharmyo.
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 Yes, that's nice. I'd like to lay my hands on them and just like to
Right.
check out. Yes, dear.
I think you should. Because you see, in that book, they talked about the deserts, they talked about the seas, the visions they had for the traveling. Because now we are traveling, but at that time they were not traveling. It was just an imagination that I would go to Egypt. If a person had been to Egypt, what he felt, what experience he had, everything was there. I think if we talk about the full nation, one or two people must have been to Egypt to see the things they have there. So, if we talk about desert, not many people were in desert. Not many people were experiencing the air tickets. So, all the experiences had been mentioned there. So I was reading all those things there. Along with this, these they had the poems and the shairis that were, or the columns that asked for the questions, and the people would answer. So the questionnaire and question answer series also were there. So these were really wonderful book. I still would like to read all those books.
Yes, dear. Very nice, ma'am. Dear ma'am, could you tell us this? How should people remember you, and why should people remember you?
And I just want to ask you, why should people remember me? Because they have their own life, and they should remember themselves first. They should remember what they are doing, why they are here. And still, if they want to remember me, I think they should remember me for the hard work that I'm putting in for others, for myself, and the way I'm working, my punctuality, and actually, I'm always in learning mode. I want to learn from everyone. When I was young, I would think that this person is not educated. Why should I listen to this person? But today, I know that whether the person has education or not, everyone is learned in his own field. So I want people to remember me as a person who always wanted to learn from everyone, whether it is a kid or it is an old person, educated, a farmer, a dentist. So wherever I can get information, I try to take that. So people have their own characteristics, they have their own personality. They would not remember me after a few years of the time when I am gone. They have their own life. So I don't believe that they remember you. Still, if they remember, they should remember me for these characteristics.
Yes, dear. Yes, very nicely put in, ma'am, and very humble of you. When you answered that, I could see the humbleness in you. That's so sweet. Very nice. Dear
Thank you,
ma'am,
ma'am.
if you get a lot of holidays, most welcome, dear. If you get a lot of holidays, you'd like to go for a holiday to which particular place? Any particular holiday destination?
Yeah, what I have been imagining is that I would live in, you say, mountains. Hmm. So I don't want a very posh house in mountains, but what imagination I have is that I need a tent house or a club house there, a very small one, where I can keep two goats and few rabbits, and if I can procure bread and cheese to sell it to people, and lead a very, you say, very simple life with the flora and fauna. That would be great. And what we do is that we earn a lot and then we go to the same places where there are mountains, where there is natural surrounding. So I think we should start living in those places. We should start, instead of building the concrete jungles in the cities, we should start making the jungles here of natural environment.
Great.
So that would be my destination, wherever it is India or abroad, it needs to be something natural.
Yeah. We have a technical issue, I guess, ma'am. There's a slight network issue from your area.
Am I audible?
Yes, audible now, ma'am. Yes, dear. Yes, ma'am. I guess I still can't hear you. Yeah.
It's okay?
Yes, ma'am. I guess it's okay now. Yes, ma'am. Yes, dear. I like the way you say, staying near the mountains and having bread and cheese and a few little animals and birds and, enjoying life, rabbits and goats you mentioned. And really, that's so nice to live a very simple life away from the rush. Yes?
How wonderful it is.
Yes, dear. Very nice. Very nice.
You see how wonderful it would be.
Yeah.
You're moving into the mountains, and you see a shop where you can go and cook your own bread, instant bread, and put a butter on it, put a cheese on it, cheese slice on it, and eat it. It's going to do wonders to you if you're in the natural surrounding. You want to visit a natural surrounding. So why to open a restaurant or big buildings over there? So I think we should lead a simple life there.
Wonderful, wonderful. Very nice, ma'am. Dear ma'am, the next question coming up is, Are you interested in movies? Have you seen any movies which you still remember now? Favorite movie?
I don't watch television and movies a lot, but still, when there is a movie that has a craze in middle-aged people, then I actually watch it. Recently, I watched this Kerala story, and it was wonderful. Not because it was related to some religion or was against something. No, it was a good story. It was a good framework. It had a theme. It was of national issue or it was of personal issue. There has to be some issue in the story. If there is some issue that is being solved in a story, I watched that movie. So many movies that are related, I actually watched it.
Great, great, ma'am. Dear ma'am, there's a question like this. What is this one thing you like about yourself? You've observed that this is the quality within you, this is the speciality within you, and you've identified that, and you're proud of that quality within you.
Yeah, as I already told you, that I am a very particular person and very punctual person. I have many weaknesses that I know, but I like those weaknesses also because I know that now I have a target to remove those weaknesses, to eradicate whatever evil I have within myself. The way I have overcome my problems, the way I have dealt with the problems and issues in my life, I am actually very proud of it. And the defense mechanism that I have developed for the problems I have in my life, actually they work for others also. Like instead of speaking very arrogantly or very aggressively, you need to be in the silent mode. You can switch off your brain communication with the surrounding. So the
Yes, ma'am, there's a light network issue from your side. Am I audible, ma'am?
yes, you audible.
Yes, dear. There's a slight network issue from your area, ma'am, and let's see if it's fine. Yeah, we'll go on with the next. You would like to continue with this question, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yes, dear. Please go ahead.
So the way I know how to switch off my brain communication with the surroundings, the way I have developed the defense mechanisms for the problems and issues I have in my life, I always guide and announce these things to the other people also, and they are working for them also. And the way I have this never failing attitude that even if we fail, we don't need to be sullen. We don't need to be very sad. We need to learn something from that failure also. That how now we can train others how not to be a failure. So the way I have never ending failure and I'm always in the learning mode, learning from everyone. Also, I have become quite adjustable with all age groups and all events and all situations. I did not have these things before, but I learned these things because as a child, we are in a particular surrounding that is controlled by parents. They make us. But when we come into the actual workforce, we need to change a lot according to our situations. And then we become the real person. The main thing is that I know about myself is that my happiness control is not in the hands of others. Nobody can control my happiness. If they want to make me sad, they cannot make me sad. If they want to make me happy, they cannot make me happy because I have my own remote control or self control. So, this is the main thing that I like about myself that I'm not dependent on others for my happiness actually. And if you learn this one thing, everything is going to come in a line, in a queue, and it is going to take the shape.
Wonderful, wonderful, very nice. Happiness lies within us, and we need not, depend on others for happiness. No one can control our happiness. That's what you say. Very nice, ma'am. I like the way overcoming all the obstacles in life and still smiling, being ready to learn. All these are wonderful things, ma'am. Very nice. Dear ma'am, the next question coming up. What if Dr. Jyothi Gaur won a big jackpot, a big lottery? What would you do?
I did not hear. Pardon, please.
Yes, dear. I'll repeat the question. What if you win a big lottery, a jackpot?
Oh, yeah, that is quite enticing, and I hope that you're providing some sanctions for my approval of these lottery tickets and providing me the prize money for this. That would be quite helpful. But no, I have come to a stage that I don't need so much of money. I need money to be happy and to, doctors have advised me to eat just dal and chapati, okay, and green vegetable. So I don't want that much of money. Also, a time comes when you come to know that you don't need a very big house also, because the maintenance of that house and everything is your responsibility then. You don't need very big car or very expensive car because it is going to move on four wheels only on the road, on the same road where the bullock cart is moving. And you are going to land on the same road where the other people are walking. So you don't need that much of money, but still, if I have money, I would like to start my own projects for women for their skill development. Recently, I had a call from MP, that is a government school, where they were inquiring if I could help them in their machinery and their stationery. So, if I have calls like that and I have this prize money, I would like to share this with all those people, all the children who need this. So, I think that is going to work for people also.
Wonderful. Very nice. So nice of you. Great. Dear ma'am, you always focus now, empowering other women. So could you just share some thoughts on that, ma'am? Empowering women. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you one question. Just imagine that there is a farm in front of you. Okay. And it is a green farm. Okay. And there is a farmer working on it. Can you tell me the name of that farmer?
No, ma'am. Nowadays, see, what I have observed is on a farm, we have male and female members both working equally. Yes, dear.
Right. Right. But I asked this question to many people, and they name Ramlal, Kishan, all names. So our brain has been prepared that way that we don't imagine for women. So women empowerment start within ourselves. Okay. You need to develop yourself, you need to develop your capabilities, you need to work very hard, and you need to compete with men in the capabilities also. First compete in capabilities and then ask for your rights, isn't it? Then ask for your rights. So that is women empowerment when you don't need to ask for your rights. You are capable enough to stand with men. So that stage needs to come. It has never come anywhere. Talk about any country, we are only talking about the rights of women. We are never saying that we are equal to men and we have same capabilities. So if we work on the capabilities of women, making them uh, self-earning member of the society, of the family, where they can take care of two children at least. Because once a woman goes out to earn and she comes back and asks for the money from the husband, it's useless. It becomes useless. We need to make them capable enough that when she goes out to earn and come back, she doesn't need to ask money from anyone. Okay, so that would be women empowerment. That day, we can see that she can bear the child and she can mm, grow that child and bring up that child. That
So
is her
I
right.
get to understand is all women should be financially independent.
They need to be financially independent.
Great, great. And that is why you're focusing on skill development, right? You want to open a center for women where they could develop their skills and become financially independent. Am I right, ma'am?
Right. Because if we develop the skills for women, in women, they become capable enough to think for themselves. And when they do it for themselves, they earn something, they become someone, they think for other women also.
Wonderful.
So they need to come to that stage.
How nice. I like this. When one woman has developed herself, empowered herself, she empowers others as well. She has done it. She wants others to do it at the same, rise up. A strong woman will rise up and she will make others also rise up with her. Beautiful, ma'am. Very nice. I like the way you put that. Ma'am, what brings a smile to your face?
Oh, smiles come whenever some people are happy with their surrounding. And if you become that surrounding, you will feel happy. You should feel the surrounding, the people, that whenever you come in the company of other people, they become happy. They are happy with you. If they are happy with your company, it brings smile to you also. So you need to have good company. You need to be a good company, and you can become that if you're giving, if you're compassionate, if you're loving. Is a basic criteria for happiness. If you can provide that, people will be happy. And when people are happy, you will automatically become happy because you have provided that happiness to them. If their happiness is because of you, you are automatically happy.
Wonderful, wonderful. Ma'am, any weakness for sweets, chocolates, ice creams, burgers, any weakness like that? If you have seen something and you feel like eating it?
No, I have a sweet tooth. I need to eat and if there is something in the refrigerator, if 25% is eaten by my children, I think 75% I will eat it. It is my responsibility. And I take care of my responsibility very finely, and they know it. So sweet is something that I cannot avoid, and that is why I started curtailing on other things. That is, started curtailing on carbs. That is starch, because I cannot leave sweets. Sweet is my weakness. Weakness.
Same here, ma'am. I just get the same thing. What all you are explaining, that is me too. That's, I could say I'm your twin. I also do the same thing. And whenever I eat up the chocolates or the ice cream, my younger son will say, Mama, I know you have eaten up. No one would
Right.
have taken it. It is you. So that's what they say. So I share
Children
that
need
with
to
you.
understand. Children need to understand that in the refrigerator, they cannot have everything. This is my mama's.
How sweet. Yes, dear. You want to share something else? You could go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, but it is not good actually. These sweet cravings or anything else, the cravings are not good for health. At the age of 40 and above, we need to control ourselves. We need to control the sweets and carbs for our and fat also, because we want to be uh, healthy by heart, healthy by muscles, healthy by bones. So we should have lots of green vegetables and you say calcium-rich food and iron-rich food and little bit of protein also for women. So we need to take care of that. So cravings can be okay before 40, but after 40 you need to control yourself.
Thank you for that. Thank you. That's really a message for each one of us, especially 40 plus. Stay safe and control your cravings and don't overindulge. Just balance
Right.
it. Yes, dear. Dear ma'am, is there anything that scares you? Are you scared of anything?
Yeah, initially, actually, the ghost used to scare me. The death events used to scare me, and failures used to scare me. But with time, having all those experiences with everything, now I know that this is, universe, and there is all sort of thing here which we don't know. We don't have the scientific proofs of everything. Okay, and failures are followed by successes. So we need to taste failure to have the success. If you don't face failure and you get success all the time, this sweetness of success will become better. So to make it more sweeter, to make the sweetness of success more sweeter, you need to taste the bitterness of the failure. I have understood that. Now it doesn't bother me. So whenever I guide my students for the project, I always tell them, what about this research? It is either going to be failure or it is going to be success. There is no middle way. So either this side or that side. Many times it happens that we meet the people who are on the deathbed or who are very old and they are afraid of deaths and the diseases. At that time, we understand if we have this power of communicating with them and taking them towards a positive stride. Because I have seen this in my father. He had massive heart attacks many times in his life. And whenever he had the heart attack, I used to ask him, Papa, how did you feel? Did you see the death? Did you touch the death and come back? So he was always explaining me. That way I understood death. And I told you about the ghost. I had many experiences where I felt that there are things like these. But if you test them psychologically, you find it there is a parapsychology. If you test them scientifically, you come to know that it was wind or it was something else that was disturbing you, isn't it? So it is just a perception that gets to the brain, whether it's failure or it is ghost or it is death. It is the perception of the brain. Slowly, with the age, your perception will change with time, with experience. And what you are today, you will not be that tomorrow. You will always be changing. So within the span of 10 times, you will observe this change within yourselves.
Great, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you very much for that inspirational answer. That was very nice sharing. That was very beautiful. When you say ghosts, that's really even I was scared as a kid. But then, as you said, our perception. And now as we grow older, we get to know the truth of life and how we have to deal with it. Very well said, ma'am. Dear ma'am, your favorite color, ma'am, and why?
I like all urban colors that is brown, black, gray, blue, sky blue. So I don't like bright colors. Today I'm wearing a yellow sari because
Ma'am, you're on mute, ma'am. Excuse me. There's a slight defect. 1 second. We'll get back with our celebrity. Just a minute. She has a slight technical issue. Yes, ma'am.
But I don't like bright colors. I like earthen shades, all related to nature. Whether it's green, it's brown, or anything that is related to neutralized texture and neutralized shades.
Beautiful, dear. Beautiful. Very nice, ma'am. Thanks for sharing. Dear ma'am, is there any message that you want to leave for the younger generation or for all the audience who are going to watch our show and the guests over here? Is there any special message you'd like to give us?
Yeah, I would want all of you to think about yourself, to strive for happiness. And as I told you, that you should search about how you get the happiness. Do you get it by yoga? Do you get it by meditation? Because today, if you think that if you purchase something and you'll be happy, it is going to be a very short term happiness. After some time, you will crave for something else. So you need to search for something bigger that will make you happy for a longer term. So what I have learned is you never become happy when you get something. You always be happy when you give something. You should be sympathetic, give sympathy. You should be empathetic, give empathy. You should be compassionate, have compassion towards the people who are in the difficult times. You should have the love and affection for your youngers and respect for your elders, especially to the youth. I would want to say that respect giving is very important because without which you will never earn respect from others. Because I have seen young people, they talk about the duties secondly and their rights firstly. So what you need to understand is that you need to be responsible first. You need to understand your duties. You need to complete and do all those duties and respect your elders. And if you are able to do that, I think you're going to do wonders in your life, because with respect giving, you will learn respect taking also. Because you will come to know how these people they earn respect, how these people they achieve love, they achieve success. Another thing is that I've seen many people who do not want to take help from others. Taking help is also very important. You understand karma? You understand karma?
Yes, ma'am.
You want to improve your karma by doing good things. So let other people do good things and take help from others, improve their karma also. Okay, so it is the world of give and take. Don't think that you're only going to take, and don't think that you're only going to give. There should be balance between two, and if you are able to achieve this, you can do really well in life.
Wonderful, ma'am. I like the way you said balance. You should give as well as take, and enable
Right.
others also to give such that they get good karma, right? Enable them to have the habit of giving, encourage that such that they get the good karma as well, and we too, earn our good karma as well. That's very nice. I like that concept. Dear ma'am, as a student, which was your favorite subject, ma'am?
As a student, I had many favorite subjects. When I was very young, say I was in second class, our mathematics teacher taught us how to see the time. So I was absent that day. I was absent that day, and next day she took the test. So I didn't know what to do there. So I got 0 out of 10. And when I took this to my teacher that I have got 0. Why have I got 0? She told me, you don't know how to tell time, how to have a look at the watch. You don't know how to do this. So you have got 0. So I said, now what do I need to do? She said, go and take the signature. I said, signature of who? She said, your father. I said, okay. I went to my table and I did the signature of my father and I took it to her. Take my father's signature. She said, no, this is your signature. It is not of your father's. And she actually punished me for that. I was a very young kid. I didn't know that. I saw my father's putting the signature, and in front of her, I put the signature and gave it to her. And I started panicking that I'm in the class of mathematics. So every day I would go outside whenever there was maths class. This way, the panic of mathematics started. Okay, so if you want the children to love a subject or hate a subject, we are providing them the environment that they go through it. So if you want the children to learn the subject, we need to make it more interesting, motivate the child, and because I have experienced that I was demotivated and I never wanted to face mathematics again. But the subjects that I learned were craft and creativity and you say Hindi languages, that is English literature, and also you say first aid when I was in college, and few science subjects. I had many subjects that I loved. So only thing is, first we need to understand what caliber the child has. Never push the child towards a thing that he doesn't have caliber for. Second thing is, if the child doesn't have a caliber for a subject, motivate the child. Put something interesting in that so the child gets to love that subject.
I agree, ma'am, with you. Totally agree, because I signed my report card when I was in the second class, because I just got a B plus. My family members, my parents, they wanted A plus, and I got B plus, and I was so scared. I took the pen and I signed. It was the quarterly exams. I remember I signed up and I gave it back. And it happened that my aunt, who works very close to my school in a hospital, she came, they sent her, my parents sent her to find out why hadn't received my report card, my progress card. And she came and inquired there with the teacher, and then my teacher said, yeah, it's already signed by her parents. And she showed the report card to my aunt, and when my aunt looked at it, and then she understood, and she said, okay, thank you. And she came back home, she informed my parents, and when I returned home that evening, I was given nicely black and blue. I was beaten. So I remember fear, Parents should not instill that much of fear, nor the teachers, the management. They should be very careful dealing with those tender minds, accepting you and
Right.
encouraging you, motivating you in the right way, right? So I also developed a fear like that for science, for physics. As you say, mathematics, for me it was physics.
Thank you, sir.
So very well I can understand what you've been through and how.
I think we both have these experiences.
And this was the comment, such a daring thing. She's in second class and she signed a report card, and that was the talk in every family gathering and all that, and was very embarrassing for me.
It was very embarrassing. Right.
Yes, yeah. Yes, yes, dear. Yes, ma'am, you had a question for me?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yes, dear. Any favorite teacher, ma'am, who you were inspired by, or any favorite teacher who touched your life in such a way that brought a vast change?
Yeah, I have had many teachers who were very compassionate, who were actually real mentors for me. So when I was in college, I had this teacher, uh, and she asked all of us, "What are you going to do in your life?" We raised our hands and we said, "I'm going to become a teacher," just because she was a teacher and we wanted to please her. So it was her question that, are you actually a teacher now in the class? Are you teaching something? Are you making any effort for it? Have you planned any effort for it? So that way she guided us that you cannot declare anything until and unless you have worked for something. And that day we realized that if we want to become something, we actually need to plan for it. We actually need to make steps for it. And we need to move on those steps. We need to cross that first step. We don't need to jump the steps. She taught everything to us, and that way we learned that what we are capable of and in which field we would like to go. And then we decided that we never want to become a school teacher because we had caliber more than that and different from that. I'm not saying that the school teachers don't have caliber or less caliber. They have a different sort of caliber. That is, they are very patient with children. And when I came to know that I'm not that patient with children, I decided that I'm not going to become a school teacher. I'm going to become a college teacher. Because there you have that company where your students are mature enough to understand your rules. You don't need to explain them again and again. So that way, the teacher, she was Miss Noreen David, and she taught us how to look into yourself, how to find yourself, and how to plan for yourself.
Oh, nice. So
So
sweet.
she has been a great teacher.
Would you like to repeat her name once more?
Pardon, ma'am?
Would you like to repeat your teacher's name who inspired you and encouraged you?
She was Miss Noreen David.
Oh, great. That's really
Miss
nice.
Noreen.
Thank you. Thank you, dear. That's really nice. Dear ma'am, any favorite quote or proverb which you're inspired by and you'd love to read it again and again? You could even suggest it to others. Would you like sharing that proverb and quote? Yes.
Yeah, for the past few years, I have started believing in if you want to change something, change yourself.
Oh,
Because things are not going to change. Everything is going to be intact just as it is. You cannot change the behavior of people, you cannot change the attitude and thought process of people. You need to change your thought process and your understanding and adjustment process. Okay, so what I have decided is when people see you changing and they see positive changes in you, they change themselves automatically. The first thing is take the first step if you want to change your environment.
wonderful. Brilliant, ma'am. I love this. Wonderful. Change yourself.
Thanks a lot.
Yes, I really love this, and it means a lot to me, and definitely it will inspire everyone across the world. This is what, instead of changing the world or changing others, you change yourself, change your thoughts, change your perception, and of course, you will reach where you have to reach. Thank you, ma'am. It was really very, very nice to share that. Dear ma'am, what is your proudest accomplishment till date?
Actually, I've had many accomplishments. I'm proud of every accomplishment that I have. But the first accomplishment was presenting a research paper in Hyderabad, Usmania University. That was very difficult because those times we did not have the computer, we did not have the internet, and we had to go to the library to do the research work. So I had a very young baby. I carried that baby to the library, and on the library desk, the table, she used to sit there with the toys, and I used to work for my research paper. And I sent this abstract to Usmania University, and it got approved, and they called me for the paper presentation. If I come, I have been doing this after that many times, but that first accomplishment was very important because that was with my child, taking care of all the responsibilities, feeding her, taking care of her health, taking her to the library when I did not have any, conveyance with me, walking the distance of say 4 kilometers along with the child because we did not get the rickshaws and auto walas at that time. So that had been real difficult time. And going for the presentation of that first paper to Osmania University, leaving the child alone here, that was a first achievement. And that made me very strong. That made me very strong and made me believe in myself that I can do anything. So I love that achievement of mine because after that, when I did that, there was no closing at all. No door was closed. I could do anything.
Wonderful, wonderful. Big round of applause for you. You know, when you shared, I was doing my research work and collecting, important information for my research, etc. My little baby was on the table there with me, playing with her toys. I could get that picture, visual picture in my mind. I could create that. Very nice. And you're a strong mother. And of course, I'm sure your children all will be very happy with your achievements. Of course, we are, because, it's not possible for every woman, to do what you've done, come out and put yourself. And you said, once I've achieved that main part, no stopping. It was always going forward. That's very nice. Great, ma'am. Dear ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, dear. Thank you so much for sharing. Ma'am, do you have a liking for pets? Do you like pets? Yeah.
Need liking for pens, and especially for pencils. Instead of pens, I like pencils more. Everywhere I go and I see a new and different pencil, I purchase that pencil. Now, keeping that pencil neat and clean and sharpened, it is my hobby. And this is because when I was very young, we did not have resources. We got the pencil and we had to use that pencil very judiciously, sharpening it, uh, not sharpening it continuously for a long time, that it gets shortened. It has to continue, say, for 2 to 3 months. And till that pencil was holdable, very small. It had the nib. It could write. We used to write like this. And when we went to our parents saying now we cannot hold it, then they gave us a new pencil. And today on the table of children, we see hundreds of pencils. But I have this craving for pencils because I had a resource less life. Okay, so I love my resources, especially pencils of all sorts. Some are triangular, some are round, and some are octagon shaped. So holding them and using them and feeling them in your grip, it is wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful. Very nice. And I remember we used to just hold the last part, right? And even didn't want to throw that, still would keep it in our compass box, the little piece of the end of the pencil.
Yeah. And you know how we used to sharpen that on the floor?
Yeah, yes, I get that.
It on the floor because it could not go into the sharpener. It could not go into the sharpener, so we had to scrape it on the floor to make it pointed, so that we could write.
Wonderful. There are so many similarities. Thank you for sharing all of that and, taking me down memory lane to my school days and again bringing me back here on this platform. Very nice, ma'am. I love the way you put all of that so honestly, and there's such a lot of genuine sharing going on over here today. Very nice. Thank you so much, dear.
Thank you.
Yeah, ma'am, I have a cup here with me. Is your cup half full, half empty, or is it full to the brim? Is it overflowing? How do you look at it? When you look at life, we take this cup to
Like
be.
you mentioned,
Yes.
I like my tea when it is 3/4, not half, so that I feel the emptiness, not full, that I'm overloaded. So just like we have the resources in our life, we should have the resources in our life. Resources should be in the quantity that satisfies us. Not, we should not be very greedy to take it to the brim. We should not be very less, we should not have less self-esteem that it can reach the bottom. It should reach the bottom. Just 3/4 of cup is more than enough. Just don't fill the resources so much that it is not obtainable by others, not obtainable by others, so that you can share this tea with others.
Ma'am, this was one of the most important and brilliant answers, ma'am. I love the way you put it. Allow others also to avail the resources. Do not fill your cup and keep it full. Maybe 75% is more than enough.
75% is more than enough.
I really love the way you put this. I've never got this answer on this platform. Never. This is the first time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful. Dear ma'am, how many languages could you converse in? How many languages you could understand, speak?
Ma'am, actually, I spent my childhood in Chennai. I was there for 8 years. So I can speak Tamil and English, little bit of French because during COVID times I started learning it via Duolingo app. So I little bit of conversation and understanding of French. And we have our local language that is Marwari in Rajasthan. And we have our family dialect that is care. So I can speak that and English as we all can. So not many languages, but of course I was more of literature person. So I had interest in learning new languages. Only thing is that we did not get those opportunities that students get nowadays, that their parents force them to learn a foreign language and force them to learn English that well that they are able to immediately get settled down in US because that is their aim. So only thing is that I know few languages, not many.
Great, great. Thank you for sharing, dear. Thanks, ma'am. Ma'am, the question here comes like, are you a good listener or a good speaker or both of these?
Pardon, ma'am?
Are you a good listener? Are you a good speaker or both of these? In my view, I guess you are a great speaker and as well as a great leader. How do you look at yourself?
Actually, I am a good leader. I don't know why, but people start following me. Whatever I do, they like it because I put my heart in it. And they start doing the things, taking guidance of me. So I need to speak. I need to speak. That way I learn how to convince people. And if you want to convince people, you need to listen to them. So listening and speaking are the two sides of the coins. If you don't listen, you cannot speak. So I'm little bit of listener also and little bit of speaker also. So sometimes it is like we need to listen more because people want to speak. And sometimes we need to speak because we have that pent up energy and pent up emotions within ourselves because we want to release all those energies. We need to speak. So the thing is that we need to control the environment. When you want other people to listen, and when you need to listen to people, that is what that balance is important.
Wonderful, wonderful. Very nice, dear. Thank you for sharing, ma'am. That's so nice of you. Ma'am, just a few more questions, ma'am. If at all you were guided by the universe or by the Almighty to select a superpower, what would that be? What would you select?
Actually, I don't like cleaning house. I don't like cleaning house. Because you must be knowing that when we have kids, you need to do the same work again and again daily. If you are taking the towel to the rack to dry it, you need to do it daily and twice a day, sometimes 7 times a day. So that becomes very tedious for women. So I think you must have watched that I Love Genie
Yes, ma'am.
serial. So that time I decided that whenever I have this opportunity, I'm going to ask for a genie who can clean my house like spick and span, so that I don't need to do that.
Wow.
Because it is a very tedious job. And I get more time to read, I get more time to do the work which I want to do. So if I can utilize that time for the benefit of my development, my children's development, and other people's development, I would take the time out of cleaning process and put it here.
Wonderful. 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 I wish even I also have that superpower, just like you. It's sometimes really very boring and it's irritating, like, I get that, dear. Very nice. Doing the same
Just like
work. Yes, dear.
yeah. Oh, why do you do the same thing again and again, keeping the same thing here, putting your brush on the, you say, just beside the sink, not on the rack? They say why there is a problem. Why can't I keep it here? Because I have to pick it up again and again from there. I don't like doing the things again and again. Once it is done, once a day, it needs to be maintained by you. So teaching that to children is difficult. They will learn this when their children will do it.
Yes.
Okay, so the time has not come.
Yes, ma'am. Very nice. Very nice. All genuine sharing, ma'am, today. I really love that. I love the spirit that you have, the politeness, the humbleness. Really, ma'am. Thank you so much. Dear ma'am, I'd now like you to enlighten our team, enlighten our virtual audience, and me as well about any two red flags in life that we should stay alert and stay safe. These are the two red signals, the red flags in your life. Stay alert, create a boundary, stay safe. Is there anything like that you'd like to share?
Red signals for what, ma'am?
Like in life, ma'am, we may be facing like domestic violence, it could be, or it could be like drugs or alcohol or emotional abuse, financial abuse.
Okay, especially to girls, I would like to suggest that whenever you're uncomfortable in a situation, you should learn to say no. Because at young age, to become peer acquainted, to become peer friendly, and to be adjusted in the peer, the girls and the boys, they have to say yes to many things. So the parents should make it very sure that the children understand when to say no, and they should have that courage to say no. What will happen when they say no? And what will develop in themselves when they say no? So, this no is very important. So, whenever you feel like saying no to any situation, or should I do it or should I not do it? It means that it is a red signal. It is a red signal. Another thing is that if you need to hide something from people, it means it is not right. It means there is something wrong. Whether it is not socially acceptable or it is not family wise acceptable. So you need to revise that thought process. If there is any thing that is needed to be hidden. So these two things, if we take care of, I think we will avoid many unpleasant situations. This is especially for the girls and for the youth of today. And if I talk about elderly, what people think is, especially in India, that we need to continue with our interference with children uh, till we are parents or till they are our children. We need to avoid that now because times have changed. Children have their own mind, they have their own schedule. Your their routine cannot rotate around your timetable. They have their own timetable. So what we need to do is that we need to accommodate our routine with their timetable also. And this happens with women also, that men think that they should revolve around their timetable. So they should be acceptable of that women can have their timetable. Okay. So whenever you feel that your timetable is getting disturbed anyhow, or there is some problem with the timetable, it means that something is wrong within the relationship or within the environment. And something some difficult situation is about to come. This is a red flag. We should check it. We should check.
Very nice, ma'am. Very nice. Thank you for sharing and enlightening us on that, empowering us on how to stay safe and how, we should give importance to different things in our life, where we should take things. And if a no is a no, when to say no, especially if it is a girl, learn to say no. Don't be pressurized by anyone. That's really nice. And of course, even we cannot decide everything for our children. Yes, it's a very progressive way of thinking. I feel that you're having very progressive thoughts. That's beautiful. That's very nice. And it's a rare. Yes, dear.
Yeah,
Yes.
we need to change our process in the family, because if we want to be happy, we want that our children get accommodated to our lifestyle and we get accommodated, then we need to be a little bit flexible. We need to be flexible. Uh, I have been observing with the elderly people also that when it is time when their children need them, that is when their grandchildren are very young, they do not have their responsibilities towards them. Many people. And when they do not have responsibilities towards their grandchildren, then when the time will come and they need the love and affection care of their grandchildren, these grandchildren will not be available to them because they will not recognize them. They will not tolerate them. So if you want to be tolerated by others, at least be the part of their system. At least be the part of their schedule.
Perfect, ma'am. I really agree with you on this. I agree with you on this. Thanks for sharing and, creating awareness for everyone, for the youth, the middle-aged, and even the senior citizens. Yes, dear. Dear ma'am, what type of changes you would visualize like in the next 50 years? What type of changes would be there in the next 50 years? Any idea, ma'am? Would you like to share your thoughts on that? Am I audible? Yeah, we'll just wait for our guest. There's a technical issue. She'll be joining us back, friends. So it's really very nice to know that ma'am has connected on such beautiful terms and topics and, enlightening us. She's back. I'm very happy that she's joined us. We'll just be back with you and our guest as well. Let's all develop a progressive mindset to create a lot of, positivity in the world. No being rigid, no being, traditional. Of course, we have to keep our traditional values, but not blindly follow anything. Yes, ma'am, over to you. Are you okay? Is everything fine? Am I audible? You're on mute, ma'am. You're on mute. Could you kindly unmute yourself? Yes, dear. No, ma'am, I can't hear you. I can't hear you, ma'am. Yes. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. That's really nice. Yes, ma'am. Okay? Yes, ma'am. Perfect. Yes, dear. Ma'am, I just asked you a question like, what would be the changes or what could be the changes in the next 50 years? How do you visualize the future in the next 50 years? Future of what? I mean, the next 50 years, from this very second to the next 50 years, what type of changes may be there in the society, or what you want in the society? What type of changes you visualize? Yeah. Yeah. What I am expecting is that youth is changing today. Earlier, the youth was more into materialistic things, but today, I have seen youth in meditation, in yoga, in natural sciences. So the time is coming again when we will be into all the old processes, whether it's a Gurukul system or it is the Gurukul Paddhati, that is yoga, meditation, being in the natural environment and being away from the technology. What I'm expecting is that people are loving this, and this might happen, or a sector of humanity might enter into that. Yes, dear. Yes, ma'am. Is there anything else you'd like to share? Can you hear me? Yeah, but I can't hear your voice, ma'am.
No, it's okay.
Okay,
It's
fine.
okay.
Great. Yes, ma'am. We have another
Yeah,
question.
yeah, I can hear you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Ma'am, do you forgive others easily? Yes or no?
Okay.
Do you forgive others? You're not audible, ma'am.
Yes, I forgive easily, but
Okay.
instantly nobody can forgive.
Yes, that's right. Yes, that instantly no one can forgive. It will take some time to forgive. Yes, dear.
Nobody can forgive because aggressive, that emotion needs to be settled down, isn't it?
Yes.
Whether we behave or react or not, but our gestures, our thought process, it doesn't change instantly. So I also actually I make it a plan. If I know it beforehand that this person is going to be angry, so I know in which mode to enter. Already told you it is going to be switch off mode. If you are in a switch off mode, it is not going to affect you, isn't it? It is not going
Yes.
to affect you. But within time, within say few minutes or few hours, I get settled down and I forgive. Whether the mistake is smaller or bigger, we need to forgive a person. We don't need to continue with the negativity, isn't it? If we are going to provide him the negative feedback or negative vibes, it is going to come to you again.
Yes.
So it is going to aggravate the problems. So if you do not want to aggravate the problems, better is to have a conversation, cool conversation, and after cool conversation, you can decide for whether the person was right or not. Discuss this with the person, and then you can solve your problems. Until and unless you talk to the same person with whom you have the problem cannot get solved. If you think that you will talk to Tom, Dick, and Harry, talking about everything about this person, the problem is solved, it will not get solved because from where the problem has originated, you need to be there. You need to change that setting. You need to change that person. You need to convince that person, and you don't need to be convinced by that person. So, forgiveness is very important. This is a base of life. This is the base of life. And I forgive easily.
Wonderful. Very nice. Thank you, ma'am, for that. Ma'am, do you have another 5 minutes? Could I take another 5 minutes from you?
Right.
Yes. We have now a rapid fire round where the answers will be just in one word, 1 or 2 words. It will be a rapid fire round. You just have to select your answers. If at all you permit me to take another 5 minutes, I'll just be very happy. Even if no, I will, bow down to you and we can end the session as well. May I take another 5 minutes, ma'am?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Fine, ma'am. Dear friends, we go on to the rapid fire round. The main round of the interview is over. The rapid fire round where our guest will select, her likes and dislikes she will share with us in 1 word or 2 words. Ma'am, you love cakes, strawberry or ice cream?
Strawberry, because it is natural.
Natural. Summer, winter, rainy, autumn or spring season?
Winter, because it gives two experiences. One is water and one it is coolness.
Love to travel by land, water or air?
Water.
You like to stay in a city, a village or a little town?
Village.
When you help others, you've been helping so many people. Do you expect anything in return? Maybe a thank you, maybe a smile.
Yes, I expect that they help others.
Wow.
They help the person who contacts them. That is what I expect.
Wonderful. This is a unique answer today. I haven't heard this before. Yes, I expect something from them. I want them to help others. Brilliant, ma'am. I didn't get this answer. More than 100 interviews, I haven't got this answer. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Unique. Your idea of a beautiful day?
If you give happiness to some person, or if you're happy the whole day, you do not encounter anything that is disturbing you, it is a happy day.
Wonderful. Are you a good cook? Yes or no?
Pardon?
Are you a good cook? Do you
cook? No, I'm not a good cook. I can be a good cook, but I don't like cooking.
Same here. Same here. We both, so similar on so many terms. Even I love to cook, but again, I don't like to cook as
Yeah.
well. Yes, because
Not
something
as a
goes.
routine. Actually, not as a routine.
Yes, dear. I understand that. Very nice. I'm so happy that, we share so many things together. Yes. Ma'am, any favorite recipe that you like? Any favorite food of yours? I guess your voice is
Dosa,
those.
because this is what I have been eating in my childhood.
Dosa.
Dosa.
Oh, great. That's really nice.
Dosa.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, dear. Dear ma'am, are you an
Dosa,
early
that
bird?
is South Indian dish.
Yes.
Huh.
South Indian dish. Yes, dear. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Early
Ma'am,
bird.
yes.
Getting up early, very early in the morning. I have this habit of tea, the trees, when it is dark, when the sun is not.
I guess there's a
So
slight.
I'm early bird.
You're an early bird. Okay, done, ma'am. Salty food, sweet food, or spicy food?
Okay. Hello, am I audible?
No, ma'am. There's a little technical issue, maybe a network issue. Here and there, we had a little breaks. Like if we could adjust that, it would be nice. It's just 2 or 3 more minutes.
Sweet
And
food. First is sweet. Then if there
yes.
is any vacancy in the stomach.
Yes, dear. No, ma'am. Not audible, ma'am.
Is it okay?
Yes, audible.
Is it
now.
okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
audible?
Yes, ma'am. Salty, sweet, or spicy?
So, sweet food, ma'am, because if I eat sweet and my stomach.
Okay, great, ma'am. Great, great. Are you an introvert, an extrovert, or an ambivert?
Ambivert.
Great.
Ambivert, because I'm balancing both the things.
Wonderful. Ma'am, when you're alone, all together alone, spending time, you're connected to your thoughts. Where do your thoughts take you? Into the past? Is it taking you to the future? Or is it connecting you with the present?
Actually, I'm always balancing between future and present. What to do in present to change the future?
Wonderful.
So about past, if you want to go to the past, you can have a look at your failure, what failures were, what were the causes of the failures. Then you can plan your future. So not past. I don't go for the past. More of present and future.
Okay, great, great. Dear ma'am, you love fresh fruits and salads or fried food?
Fresh fruits, fresh food, whether it's vegetable or fruits.
Great. You love home cooked food or food ordered from outside?
Home cooked food first, because in the restaurant you will see there will be a board just like home. So if you want to eat that, and we come to know that we are eating, you say maida. You know maida?
Yes, ma'am.
What we are eating is maida. Whether it is a pav bhaji or it is chola bhatura or anything, it is maida. So to avoid maida, I like home cooked.
Wonderful, wonderful. If you're given some time to spend either on a beach or in a forest, which one would you select?
Forest.
Great.
Forest. Because there you can be totally secluded.
Yes, dear. Yes.
And learn and have the inner thoughts.
Yes, ma'am. Wonderful. Dear ma'am, you're good at singing or dancing or both?
Both.
Oh,
Both. Earlier I was dancing also, but I sing.
Ma'am, would you oblige and just sing a line or two for us, please?
Line of?
Or a line of any song, maybe 1 or 2 lines of any song. Would you oblige for us today?
You want me to sing?
Yes, dear.
Okay, okay.
Ma'am, I guess we'll do one thing. You can just go off the camera And I guess then we'll get the network, the speed of the network. And then you could sing for us. Yes, dear. Go ahead now.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, dearly. Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am. With this, we come to an end to the session. Before we end the session, we'd love you to give us 3 magical words and we'll end the session, ma'am. 3 positive words. Like it is like please, sorry, and thank you. We already have those 3 magical words. Apart from please, sorry, and thank you, maybe you could share like something love, compassion, resilience, any 3 positive words.
It is, for me, if I think it presents constructive, being constructive. Whether you have an old resource or you have a new resource, you can make something new out of the old things also, out of the old events, out of the old thoughts. So always be constructive in all the ways.
Wonderful, wonderful, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I look forward to having you on many more sessions on the International Fab Talks. I would like you to take a session on gender sensitization and as well as women empowerment on 2 different topics on 2 different days. I'd really love you to share your knowledge with us and empower all of us.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot for calling me. And I had a beautiful interaction with you. And I never knew about this platform. Thanks to you, somehow you were able to find me. I don't know how you found me, but I'm obliged that you called. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your time and thanks for being with us. Stay blessed and stay connected. Thank you, dear.
Thanks a lot. Same to you, ma'am. Same to you.
Same to you, dear. My dear friends, we'd like to sign off from the International Fab Talk Show. We'll meet you soon again with yet another celebrity to share their life, their wisdom, and their courage of how they've overcome all the obstacles in life. And dear friends, we want you to be inspired by the common man, the common people around the world. We wouldn't want, to have you wasting your time only on entertainment. We want you to know the real ups and downs in the life of people. That is the reality, friends. Of course, you could enjoy yourself with lots of entertainment, but apart from that, getting to know the real things that happen in the world, the reality of the world. Yes, friends, with that, we'd like to sign off without taking much time. Stay blessed and keep smiling all the day. See you again soon with yet another beautiful celebrity. Have a wonderful day.